Hello, it's Wednesday and it's Wealthy Wednesdays. And we are very happy to be with you guys again today. So it feels like forever, but did we miss a week, Viv? Is that what happened?
We did miss a week, but that's okay. It just makes people reach even more for their wealth.
Yes, exactly. So what have we got going on today?
Amazing lady joining us from Ireland tonight. Her name is Eileen, and she's going to jump in the hot seat with us. So let's have a round of applause for the very brave and courageous Eileen.
Yay, hooray! Hooray to Eileen and Eileen's wealth and all sorts of fabulousness getting greater and greater. Yeah.
And I can't not do it. Come on, Eileen.
Na, 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 na. Oh, that's one of my favorite songs. Is that the one that speeds up halfway through the song?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so good.
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Oh, too good. Alrighty, so shall we bring her on? Let's do it.
Eileen. Oh, I swear what you mean.
Can you hear?
I bet you got so over hearing that sung to you, didn't you?
Just a little bit.
But it's such a good song. At least it's a good song.
Well, okay, if it's a good, I mean, it wasn't a good song when I was in the discos, like back when I was a teenager. It wasn't the popular one. It was just, yeah. It makes an appearance at every wedding.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Tiffany and I'll let you and the listeners in on a little secret. Tiffany's like, oh my God, what's she going to say? But if you look at my surname, you can imagine the kind of crap that I copped at school, can't you? And then if you take the T and the I off Tiffany's name and you can see her first name. So with the Fanny and Cock show.
Oh, Fanny and Cock show. We need to change our name.
Okay, yes, you need to do this. I will be putting a petition in. That's brilliant.
Well, yeah, I was actually at Gary and Dane's house, and I left them a note because I left the house for the day. And I just signed my name on the bottom of the note, and then they thought it was hilarious because the way that I signed my name, it looked like tits. So then they thought it was hilarious that they would call me Tits. So not only is it Fanny, but it's Tits Fanny. It's like it's all the good stuff rolled into one name. So how does it get any better?
How does it get any better?
I love it.
So, Eileen, you're one of our brave and courageous ladies. Thank you for submitting your being to join us in the Ladies' Lounge for Wealthy Wednesdays. So what is your question and what are we facilitating with today?
So it was, this is brave or stupid, I don't know, because I don't exactly remember the question. It was like a month ago, I'd say I put it in. And I don't have.
You can change the question if you like. You can just like from right now. What question do you have? Or I can go and check it out if you want me to find out what that question is, because I have that, and we can. Up to you. What would you prefer?
Well, the question I have is not necessarily related to. It's a topic that was coming up. It's not necessarily related to wealth. So I can ask it, and we can see where we go.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's more about vulnerability and being willing to receive and relationships. And when you kind of like, I'm finding I've had a lot of conversations with people around being stuck with the one. Like, as in you have some person and you've kind of made them the one, and it's like, yeah, I know, I guess that there's no such thing as the one necessarily, but you still kind of can't seem to get past that, or you're still getting triggered, and like you meet other people, but it's still not. It's all kind of being compared to that one person that you met, even if you know they're not going to work. You're still using them as the standard for everything else.
Okay,
so So it is a kind of wealthy question, because when you began with receiving, it's very much about, well, we're receiving what's true, what's true for you, because is there truly only ever the one?
No, absolutely. And that's kind of like, it's still, it makes sense. And then you I'm been working on receiving as a kind of a practice, and I'm still kind of like, these guys are great, or these people are great, and they really have got lots to them, but I get stuck. It's like I don't know how to say it. You kind of get stuck with you can receive it. I suppose that you can receive it, but you're still stuck in the point of view. I'm still stuck in that point of view where I'm like, this isn't the thing I've built. It's something else, but I'll still receive it.
So can I ask you a question? So are you talking about, you have met someone in the past who you have the point of view is the one, but you are not able to have a relationship with them? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay,
and
cool.
It's not, and it's just, I brought it up because I'm not the only one that I've had this conversation with a couple of people this week, and we're all like sitting in the same bubble, and I'm like, this is not good, because we agree with each other that these things, we're all aligned and agreed on our points of views about it, and I'm like, hilarious. Okay.
Okay, so let's do a couple of things. So truth, everywhere that you have decided that so truth, how many lifetimes have you decided that this person is the one? More than 10 or less?
97.
Yeah, cool. So truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of the decisions, judgments, conclusions, emotional points of view, and anything else we haven't asked for that keeps that in existence for you?
Yeah.
True?
my body says yes. I'm like, what's coming up is that I'm buying it off a load of people, just kind of as connection, like, so that I can relate to my friends, I might say.
Okay, so we'll go there next, but truth, are you truly willing to destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Do you believe her, Viv?
No.
She is psychic.
I want to say yes.
You want to say yes, but the energy is not saying yes, right? The energy doesn't match when you say yes. So what's the value of holding on to all of those points of view that are keeping this in place for you?
I might be able to create something with it, is what's just come up in my head.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, if you destroy and uncreate all this stuff, you still have the possibility of creating. You just undo yourself from all of the stuff that's keeping it from not being a choice.
Okay. I'm like trying to figure that out. I shouldn't try to figure it out. Okay. So everything this is, will you destroy and uncreate it? Like all of the confusion and everywhere that you're creating this as being more difficult than it needs to be, will you revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and uncreate all of that? Yes.
True?
Yes.
Yes? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So the thing is, when we destroy and uncreate things, what we're doing is we are asking the energy to go back through all of the different lifetimes, whatever, where you've made decisions or judgments or conclusions, or you've created something that takes you out of choice, that doesn't allow you to have choice and possibility as your reality. So what wealth of possibilities as your reality are you totally unwilling to have that keeps you wanting to hold on to all of these points of view as though you will not be able to create anything else if you don't destroy and uncreate them? So everything, all that is Times a Godzillion? We destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Not doing anything.
Cool. So now, and I'll shut up in a second, Viv. So now,
That's fun.
all of the thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, all of the, what are those things? Oaths, vows, swearings, fealties, communities that you have with this person in any lifetime, truth, will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate them all now, please?
Yes.
Truth?
Yes.
I just have to check with you, you know?
I do, because
So is it a yes? Truth?
yes. Yes.
Cool. Thank you. All of that, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
So was that yes lighter and easier for you, Eileen?
There's a difference, even though,
Yeah.
like what I'm saying, I can feel it, and I'll still say yes, even if it's the no. Yes, because
So
get caught.
something you said earlier about, about creating, it's like, have you been, this may not be relevant now after Tiff's cleared that with you, but have you been more engaged with creating conflict than creating what you truly desire?
Yeah, actually, like it's like a default or something. That makes sense when you've said it. Not that I'm going around trying to cause arguments or stuff like that, but I think
it's because whenever we get stuck, it's because we have those conflictual universes or those conflictual points of view where we fight with ourselves internally between, but I want this and I can I have this, and then you come into the other side that has all the reasons and justifications or the points of view or whatever that is that holds it in existence. So what if you would be willing to be aware of where you go into conflict rather than possibility? And conflict can be we're defending a point of view, the rightness of our point of view or the wrongness of us. It can be either end of the spectrum. So and with the latest clearing, it's like, so truth, will you rescind, recant, revoke, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all the emotional points of view that you're avoiding and the points of view that you're defending that are keeping this in existence?
Yeah. Yes.
Whew. Truth.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yay.
Right and wrong, good and times a Godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs and beyonds. So I'm going to do that one again. So will you rescind, recant, revoke, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all the emotional points of view you're avoiding and the points of view that you're defending that keep conflict in your own world in existence and keep you from the wealth of possibilities?
Yeah.
Whew. Everything. Thank you. Times a Godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs and beyonds. And Eileen, if this has been going on for a while, if this has become like a coping mechanism or a reflexive reality that keeps you, like Tiff said, is there somewhere that this is working for you, or is there some value in it? Because when you ask to receive, you know that anything you're asking to receive, whatever is stopping that, comes up in your face. It's like here. So it can get really intense, and it's like, what the fuck, I've been asking to receive more, and now I feel like I'm more in conflict with this of do I, don't I, yes, no. So, would you be willing to commit to you? Sorry, you go.
Well, that's what you're saying. It's because what's coming up now is I'd often use this as a conversation between my friends, or like, because I have no points of view, not no points of view. I don't like talking about like a lot of stuff. I don't watch TV. I don't talk about clothes. And very often we just talk about this as something to talk about with my friends. So I still think I have friends. and like, it's the as I'll sit there going, otherwise, but it's in, like, it's there inside me, and I do enjoy doing it, and it's not creating, and like, it's exactly what you're saying about having you.
So just going back, thank you, brilliant, because something that Tiff said earlier, it's like, okay, so what's the value of, it's like we're entertaining ourselves, we're playing table tennis with ourselves in our head. It's like talking about it, but when you truly ask to receive, there's a vulnerability that's required to actually receive the change. So is talking about it a coping mechanism? Is talking about it a way of entertaining yourself that you think you want to change it, but you haven't really gotten to that space yet of truly desiring to change it? And this is not making anything right or wrong. It's just, okay, is this where I'm at? Being that vulnerability with yourself.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't even looked at this aspect of it where you kind of use that to relate.
Okay. Yeah. And another piece just popped in for me too. It's like, so if this is a coping mechanism, is this the way that you make sure you never receive that part of you that gets what you truly desire? So it keeps that problem perpetuating and keeps the separation in place.
Exactly. But is it exactly? Because it's like, it's this, I mean, everybody needs to hear that. But it's like, that's the piece that it was like, we're just eternally stuck in this place where it's never going to work. And we have to do something to make it work rather than just.
So is it doing something or is it being something different?
Yeah.
You know, how much have you been trying to compute and work it out and logicalize it and linearize it and run it through all the systems and structures up here rather than choose to be something different? Because in order to receive, you have to be, you know, in order to be, you have to receive. So everything and all that this is bringing up, we destroy and uncreate all of that, please, times a godzillion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nightshorts, boys, pobads and beyonds. Go, Tiffy.
So, you know, in the beginning, you were saying it's not really a question. It's not really a question about wealth, but this is totally about wealth, because wealth really is. You know, I mean, one of the things we've been talking about on this Wealthy Wednesdays thing is like, what is wealth to you? And it can be different for all of us. A lot of people with wealth think, well, it's just about money. And no, it's not just about money. It totally includes money, but it's about everything. And so what wealth of possibilities are you keeping yourself from having with the need to fit in and be like others?
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's got sparks on it.
So everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yeah.
Cool. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. So the other thing with wealth is, you know, you've probably heard it a few times, you know, you're aware of the Access Consciousness tools, but this possibility and reality of ask and you shall receive, right? So are you truly aware that you can ask for anything?
I know it. Being aware is maybe the next piece, because I'll constantly go into the fight for it, or the what do I have to do for it, or the, you know, the separation from it so I can achieve it.
Cool.
Ooh, can I just ask a question?
Yes.
So is there somewhere that you're making receiving a transactional reality? If you do this, then this, or if I do this, then I get this.
Yeah.
Yowzers.
Yeah.
Ooh. So all the decisions, judgments, conclusions, and computations you've come to, that means transactional reality is the only way you get what you want. Will you destroy and uncreate all of that, please?
Yeah.
Yowzers, times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads and beyonds. And, you know, if you can get your hands on anything about the transactional realities, it is massive, because the moment we have a transactional reality, we're constantly judging what we're receiving and what we're not receiving, what we're doing and what we're not doing. It's like, well, where's my share? I've done this, so then why haven't I got this? And it's not the space of true gifting and receiving where there is that simultaneity. And then when we have a transactional reality, that then triggers all the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, and rejections. So then we feel, what's the word? We feel not vilified. We feel, that word's completely, we feel well, we feel entitled to do the separation and rejection and judgment, because it's like a punishment that we're doing. It's like, well, you haven't honored your end of the bargain, that you didn't even know that you had that in your head, and now you're pissed at them because they haven't done that. So that triggers all the distractor implants, and round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows.
So everything, all of that brought up, were you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pop and pod, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds.
So what can you be different? So maybe, what questions have you been asking, Eileen, in regards to receiving? Like, what have you been actually asking for? What's your question in regards to asking? How have you been asking?
Well, I have a question for you, and to answer that one, my question has often been mostly what would it take to have more ease with this, whatever it is, if it's a horse, if it's finances, if it's relationships, just more ease with what's happening. That's been what I'm looking for.
Okay, cool. So can I just ask you a question there? So Truth, are you now willing to prioritize ease over conflict?
Yeah.
And it's not a how, because I know your brain just went to, how do I do that?
How should I do that? Yeah.
And like Tiff was saying, it's the choice. It's the wealth of the choice that you've got. This as a choice. It's the wealth that generates for you.
And knowing that the choice creates the possibilities, right? So what most of us do with choice, and how we've learned that choice works, is, well, you have to have everything lined up to be able to choose something. You have to know how, you have to know this, you have to, for example, if it's something that costs money, you have to have the money before you choose. Well, that's not actually true. How it works is you choose, right, which can just be like, I'm having this, something that you desire, something different. I'm having this. And then you get to be present with everything that shows up after that, because the universe will start to rearrange itself to try and gift you with what you're asking for. But are you asking for enough, Eileen? Like, yeah, you're asking for ease, which is awesome. But what about, like, what would you actually truly desire if you could have anything? And I mean, you don't need to answer that question now because it's a big question, but that question is more about for you to have a look at that. Like with relationship, for example, that's where we kind of started with relationship. If you could have anything with relationship and go through all the different parts of relationship, if you could have anything, even if it's nothing that has existed before on planet Earth, or it's nothing that you've seen before, what would that be for you? And then ask for that. Because right now it's like there's a person that you want to have something with, but that something is not going to happen with that person. So if it's not about the person, if it's about what you would like, then look at that and then ask for that to show up for you. So everything that doesn't allow that, we revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate. Everything that keeps you from having ease with doing that and asking for more and asking and knowing what you would like, will you destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pop and pot, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyond.
And would you be willing to be vulnerable in a way with you to perceive the question and the choice and the receiving and the being? And again, it's a being, it's not a doing, it's the choice. Thank you. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats and beyonds. That's a wee bit different.
And the other thing I wanted to add, Eileen, with the looking at what you would truly like is it's not about defining what you would like, but sometimes I know for me personally, it's way easier to almost ask the question, okay, so how would I like my relationship to be? You know, because that could be more of an energetic awareness for you that doesn't necessarily have definition. So if you're more of an energetic person, if you have more of an energetic reality than like a defining reality, then do it from that space of like, what would I like it to feel like? What would I like it to be like? And then ask for that energy to start showing up. Because the thing is that when you start to ask from that space too, it may not just be in the form of a relationship that this shows up, but it may be, you know, like a whole bunch of different people that show up in your life that contribute to your life in the way that you would like to be contributed to.
Yeah.
And question, is this how you have your relationship with your horses?
No. No, God, no. That's.
But do you have ease with your horses? Do you have energetic relationships with your horses? And is it working for you?
She doesn't mean are your horses the one?
No.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It totally works because they all get to show up the way they are, and there's no kind of you have to be like this or you have to be like that from them or from me.
Yeah.
But it's still a relationship.
Beautiful. So if you've got it with the horses, okay, what would it take for this and something greater to show up in a person? Because it's acknowledging the areas of your life that you are being and doing this.
Yeah.
Because the more you acknowledge that, it's like, yes, this, you start to tap into and acknowledge the energy of how it quote unquote feels. It's not about the feelings, but you're acknowledging, yes, this, but in a two-legged person, you know.
A two-legged horse.
A two-legged
or a three-legged person.
A horsenoid. Maybe it's the horsenoid, Eileen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
How's that in your world?
I'll probably have to listen again. I'm like, I didn't. That's exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in, and brilliant question, by the way. Thank you.
And thank you, both of you.
It never looks how you think it's going to. Hey, Tiffy.
No.
Hey,
never.
Fanny.
Fanny Cock.
We have a new podcast in the making, live on air, ladies and gentlemen.
Kids Fanny's in the box.
I bet we'll have a lot more people watching. Might not be the kind of people we're looking for, but consciousness comes in all shapes and sizes.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
And let us know how you go.
Yeah, do, please.
Yeah. And
yes,
rewatch
definitely.
Rewatch this because there is some absolute gold in there.
Yeah. And thank you.
You're yawning.
You might need
You're yawning, and people who are watching were doing a whole bunch of yawning as well. So your question has also contributed to people watching. So how does it get better?
Well, good.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Tiffy.
And here's to more wealth in every area of your lives, guys. Truly.
Yeah.
What would it take? What else is possible?
We have a few more Wealthy Wednesdays coming up. So be sure to join us. Same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Yes, and we still have a couple of hot seat sessions coming up too. So it's not too late to fill in the form if you would like to be one of the ones who could be chosen. See you guys.
Thanks. Bye. Bye,
Thanks,
Tiffy.
everyone. Bye.